Good morning, children. Sai Ram. Children, I hope you are enjoying these online sessions of social science. Children, today we are going to start with chapter 2 of political science, that is role of government in health. Before we proceed any further, like always, I want you to keep your pen and a notepad ready so that you can write down any important points if required. So, children, can we proceed now? Yes. Children, what do you understand by health? Health is defined as our capability to remain free of illness and injuries. We can think about health in many ways. It is important for us to understand the meaning of health. Health means our ability to remain free of illness and injuries. But it isn't only about disease. It does not mean not being sick or suffering from a disease. Health is a comprehensive term for complete well-being of body and mind. It is important for us to understand the meaning of health. As I said before, health does not mean not being sick or suffering from disease. Health is a comprehensive term for the complete well-being of body and mind. Healthy people are physically fit and mentally sound. To be healthy, it is not enough to have good food, but also to have a clean environment. With individual efforts and the efforts of government, this can be achieved. It is the responsibility of the government to provide basic amenities like clean drinking water, electricity, and pollution free surroundings. A person staying in cramped accommodation or not having access to basic amenities or nutritious food is more likely to be unhealthy. So, children, as I said before, health isn't only about diseases. Apart from disease, we need to think of other factors that affect our health. For example, if people get clean drinking water or pollution free environment, they are likely to be healthy. And on the other hand, as I said before, if they do not get good food or get adequate food, or if they live in cramped unhealthy conditions, they will be prone to illness. They are more likely to get ill. All of us would like to be active and in good spirits in whatever we are doing. It isn't healthy at all to be inactive, anxious or scared for long period of time, or to have mental stress all the time. So basically, children, all this apart from disease are the factors which a person or an individual have to consider or have to think if he wants to consider himself as a healthy person. The next topic that we are going to see is healthcare in India. To prevent and treat ill health, adequate facilities such as the following are required: health centers and hospitals, laboratories for testing, qualified doctors, health professionals to advise, diagnose, and treat, medicines and equipment, ambulance service, blood banks, health workers and nurses. Now, children, we will see government and its role in healthcare. As per the Constitution, of India, it is the fundamental right of every citizen to receive basic health care. The responsibility of improving the living standards and not only living standards but also the public health care of the people lies with the state. For this, the government has set up a chain of hospitals and dispensaries all over the country. Some of the hospitals are the best in the country and offer latest treatments and facilities at affordable cost. Primary health care facilities are provided in primary health centers in both urban and rural areas. Government hospitals, dispensaries, and healthcare centers are run using funds provided by the government from the taxes paid by the citizens. The treatment and medicines provided at these medical centers are free of cost or at minimal charges, making it accessible to the economical backward classes. The health policy and welfare programs pertaining to family planning are the responsibility of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which introduce new schemes from time to time. The national policy is an initiative of the government to provide basic health care facilities to everyone. However, there are problems of the public healthcare sector being plagued by unprofessionalism, inadequately trained professional staff, and inferior quality of service. It is for these reasons that more and more people prefer to go to the private hospitals and clinics. Now children, look at this table. It is from page number 20 of your political science textbook. With the help of this table, let us examine the aspects of healthcare in India. Let us compare and contrast the situation expressed in the first and second column. The first column says that India has the largest number of medical colleges in the world and is among the largest producers of doctors. Approximately 15,000 new doctors qualify every year. Wow, isn't it a great thing? But let us see the contrast to it. Most doctors settle in urban areas. People in rural areas have to travel long distances to reach a doctor. The number of doctors with respect to the population is much less in the rural areas. So, in spite of having 15,000 new doctors every year, still people in rural areas have to travel long distances to reach the doctor. The doctors in rural areas are less compared to that in the urban areas. Healthcare facilities have grown substantially over the years. In 1950s, there were only 2,717 hospitals in India. In 1991, there were 11,174 hospitals. And in 2000, the number grew to 18,218. Wow, great achievement, isn't it? But about 5 lakhs of people die from tuberculosis every year. This number is almost unchanged since independence. Can you believe it? Almost 2 million cases of malaria are reported every year, and this number isn't decreasing at all. We claim that India gets a large number of medical tourists from many countries. They come for treatment in some of the hospitals in India. We claim that India gets large number of medical tourists from many countries. They come for treatment in some of the hospitals in India that compare with the best in the world. We are not able to provide clean water to all. Can you imagine that? In spite of we getting large number of medical tourists from the countries all over, we are still not able to provide clean drinking water to all. 20% of all communicable diseases are waterborne. Example of communicable diseases are diarrhea, worms, hepatitis, etc. Children, India is the fourth largest producer of medicines in the world and is also a large exporter of medicines. So basically, there are so many medicines which India has invented for so many diseases that were claimed to be deadly all over the world. And still, in spite of this, half of the children in India do not get adequate food to eat and are undernourished. So, in order to prevent and treat illnesses, we need appropriate healthcare facilities such as health centers, hospitals, laboratories for testing, ambulance services, blood banks, etc. All this can provide the required care and services that the patients need. In order to run such facilities, we need health workers, nurses, qualified doctors, and other health professionals who can advise, diagnose, and treat illnesses. We also need medicines and equipments that are necessary for treating patients. These facilities are required to take care of us. Children, India has a large number of doctors, clinics, and hospitals. We have seen that the country also has a considerable experience and knowledge in running a public healthcare system. Now, this is a system of hospitals and healthcare which is run by the government. It has the ability to look after the health of the large section of its population scattered over hundreds of thousands of villages. Taking into consideration the current situation of the pandemic, India is the country which has actually been successful in keeping the virus at bay to a large extent. Don't you all feel so? If we compare ourselves with America or ourselves with other European countries, what do we find out or what do we see? In spite of the large number of population that we have in India, still the growth rate of this virus or this disease in India is steady compared to other countries. Why do you think it is so, children? It is because of the efforts that the government has been taking. It is because of the decisions that the government has been taking in our favor. Isn't that so? Yes. But children, now, however, this second column points out how poor the health situation in our country is. Now, why do you think it is so? Why do you think that the health situation is poor? It is because one of the reasons is the kind of population that we have. With all the positive developments, we are not able to provide proper healthcare facilities to people. This is the paradox, something that is contrary to what we would expect. Our country has the money, knowledge, and people with experience, but cannot make the necessary health care available to all. Now, children, I am going to tell you a story. But before starting off with the story, let me tell you the background of it. Children, there is an organization, an agricultural organization, an organization of agricultural laborers. Okay, the name of that organization is Paschim Banga Khet Mazdoor Samiti. Its short form, its small form is PBKMS. Okay, now this is a story of Hakim Sheikh, of one Mr. Hakim Sheikh. Now, this Hakim Sheikh was a member of Paschim Banga Khet Mazdoor Samiti, that is, an organization of agricultural laborers in West Bengal. Now, children, one day what happened? One evening, okay, this fellow Hakim Sheikh, he fell off a running train. Now, imagine a person falling off a running train. You can understand the intensity of the injury that the person must have gone through. So, when this person fell down, he suffered head injuries and his condition was very serious. He needed immediate medical attention. So, what happened was, when we talk about a mazdoor or when we talk about a laborer, agricultural laborer, one can understand that the person is not from a very rich background. So, accordingly, he was taken to a government hospital in Kolkata. When he was taken there, he was refused to be admitted because they claimed that they did not have a spare bed. Another hospital did not have the facility or the specialized doctor that was necessary for his treatment. So, when they took him to that hospital, there he was told that they did not have the doctor or the kind of medical facility which was needed for him for his treatment. So, in this way, he spent 14 hours in critical state and was taken to 8 different hospitals. All those hospitals were government hospitals. So, he was basically taken to 8 different government hospitals. But none of them admitted him. He could not get admission to any of the hospitals there. Finally, he was taken to one of the private hospitals. When he was taken to the hospital, there he was given the treatment, the required treatment. He was given the required treatment. So, in this way, he spent 14 hours in critical condition and he was taken to 8 different government hospitals and none of them admitted him. So, because of all this, he was very angry and he was very upset over whatever had happened or over the indifferent attitude of the hospital. Now, just because he was poor, they refused to admit him. So, when he was admitted to a private hospital, he had to spend a lot of money on the treatment. He was so angry and furious that at the end of the day, Hakim Sheikh and PBKMS filed a case in the court. Now, children, with this, I end the session here. Now, let us take a small recap on whatever we have learned in today's session. So, children, let us take a small recap on whatever we did today. We started off with the second chapter, that is chapter number 2, Role of Government in Health. In a democratic country, people expect the government to work for their well-being by providing education, health, employment, housing facilities, etc. Then we understood the concept of health. What exactly do you mean by health? Health can be defined as our capability to remain free of illness and injuries. But health is not just about disease. There are other factors that affect our health. They are clean drinking water, adequate food to eat, pollution free environment, proper living conditions. Children, stressful life also leads to illness. Thus, mental strain is also considered unhealthy, and good health involves mixture of sound mind and sound body. After that, we learnt about health care in India. To prevent and treat ill health, adequate facilities such as health centers and hospitals, ambulance service, health workers and nurses, health professionals, medicines and equipments, laboratories for testing, blood banks, qualified doctors, etc. are required. Healthcare in India consists of paradoxical situation. It consists of a large number of doctors, clinics and hospitals with significant experience and knowledge in running a public health care. So, to run a public health care, large numbers of doctors, clinics and hospitals with a very significant experience and knowledge is required. Now, this healthcare system is run by government. This system has capacity to take care of large population. Also, there has been an extraordinary advancement in medical science through which new technologies and treatments procedures are available. Children, though our country has money, knowledge and people with experience, even then people are not provided with proper health care facilities. After this, children, we saw the story of Mr. Hakim Sheikh, who was an agricultural laborer. Just because he was poor and belonged to a poor family, he was not given treatment in various government hospitals. After waiting for 14 hours in that critical condition, he had to opt for a private hospital where he had to pay a lot of money for his treatment. And thus, because of the anger which arose out of this, he filed a case. So children, with this I end the part 1 of chapter 2 of political science, that is role of government in health. You are expected to complete the assignment and submit. I hope you have enjoyed this session. See you in the second part of this chapter. Till then, goodbye, take care and stay safe.